Hello traders, welcome back to the channel. This is Vishal and let's start today's educational video. We can see that Nifty Futures has closed almost 87.50 points down and Bank Nifty Futures have been able to close 480 points down, and what a volatile trading session we had today. Now in my previous Nifty Short Term View video, which I shared with all of you a couple of days back, I had mentioned that there was some sort of negative divergence which was visible in Nifty futures, and in Bank Nifty futures there wasn't any negative divergence, but I had also shared that some sort of profit booking should be done in banking stocks at higher levels. And I had also mentioned that it was only for short-term traders, all right? It was not for positional traders. Positional traders can continue holding their long positions, as generally those trades are delivery-based trades. So what we saw is very, very interesting that Nifty opened gap down today, all right? I was not expecting such a large gap down. I was only expecting a small blip, possibly of 50 points, maybe max to max 100 points. But what we saw today was much larger than that. But thanks to our support zone, the support zone I had also shared in my previous educational video, and the band is from 17,922 to 17,790. So we can see exactly Nifty opened over here and we had a very steep pullback. In fact, many people, I think when the markets were opening, they were thinking that what should I do with my trading position? Should I cut out my trading position with a trailing stop loss? Should I just exit before even my stop loss hits? I'm talking about short-term traders or swing traders, obviously not positional traders. But what happened in the first 15 minutes was very, very interesting. Like I was just watching the screen immediately within a span of 15 minutes. If you see the first 15-minute candle was very interesting. You can see the low is close to, you can say 17,820 and the high is 17,934. I guess after this particular 15 minutes candle, I think there was no looking back in the market. Yes, there was one blip again somewhere around 945, but I think after that was a pretty much smooth sailing. Yes, last 15 minutes, you can say maybe 20 minutes, a little bit selling came off, but overall, I think this was a pretty steep, pretty nice pullback, and I think it took everyone by surprise. So first thing we need to understand is that our support level has worked very nicely. Now, the other thing what we need to understand is trend is now flat in the hourly charts. The trend is not up. In the daily charts, the trend is certainly up, and now we have closed above the 18,000 levels, psychological 18,000 levels, which is a really positive thing for the bullish traders. In the hourly charts, if you see properly, the size of these candles are very huge, which clearly means that there has been a significant rise in the volatility in extreme short term. This is not a gradual rise in volatility. This is sudden, shift in momentum and sudden rise in volatility. If I switch to the 15-minute chart, you will see the charts over here. They were very smooth in terms of trend. And over here, this is extremely, you can say volatile, especially in this particular region and in this region, because the size of the candles have been very large. So what I expect in next 1 or 2 days, some sort of cooling off of volatility may happen, because after such a volatile day, it is very improbable that even the next day we will have a very high volatile day. It is very improbable. And I would suggest that trading should be reduced for possibly 1 or 2 days. The reason for that is the market might consolidate, which is important. And when generally markets are consolidating, you might not have a very good trades or very trendy day, which we had today. All right. So probably a breather or something like that is required in Nifty futures. And now let's have a look at the Bank Nifty futures. Bank Nifty futures, I think the trend stays up, and I think the star of today's trading session was Bank Nifty. We can see what a steep rally it has been now, and the candle is also looking very, very beautiful. And if you see properly, that we are almost close to this all-time high. Now, who would have thought probably just from June lows, 21 June lows, within a span of 2 to 3 months, we could have been near all-time highs. So this particular rally has taken everyone by surprise. And today what has happened is, again, like what I spoke a couple of days back, some sort of profit booking is essential. It did happen, but it did happen at a very large scale, which I guess very less people were expecting. And this was the support which I had shared in my previous video. It was somewhere between 40,396 to 4370. And the reason was there was some sort of, cluster over here or a little bit gap sort of thing. And you can see exactly there, Bank Nifty opened gap down and there was sudden rise. And even if you check in the 15-minute chart, the first 15-minute chart, I think, decided the trend of the day. And if you compare the chart of Bank Nifty with Nifty Futures, you can see clear-cut difference where Nifty Futures didn't had that sort of momentum, but Bank Nifty Futures was going up with extremely high momentum. The reason for that is RSI went above 70 levels in the 15-minute chart. But where else, if you check Nifty Futures in 15-minute, you will not see RSI crossing 70. Now, coming back to Bank Nifty, I think the trend remains up. Certainly, yes, we are pretty much overstretched even in the 15-minute charts. I do not deny that. But some sort of cooling off, some sort of consolidation or a breather is required, because after such a volatile day where there has been a sudden spike in volatility, if I just plot the indicator ATR, you will understand that the average true range of an hourly candle was around 126 points. And this has suddenly shot up till 205. And this has happened suddenly. This is not gradual. All right. So it is very improbable that again we would have such a day where a very high volatile trading session would happen. So some sort of cooling off is possible. Cooling off in the terms of not prices, but cooling off in terms of volatility. So probably tomorrow, maybe day after tomorrow, we could have sessions where some sort of consolidation is possible, and it would be very, very important if we want this rally to continue gradually. All right. Now, apart from banking sector, if you check properly, metals have been rising pretty nicely. Metals have been the sector which have, performed very nicely. There was one stock which I had shared with all of you. It was sale, I think, in a few videos back. I shared there was a breakout around 82 and this particular stock should go up. So the stock did, tested close to 85 today. All right. And one another stock which I am having a look at is Hindalco. All right. So Hindalco is looking okay. It is not one of the outperformers, but I would say that if you check properly, it is actually consolidating right now. It is pretty much consolidating within this range. If you check properly, it is consolidating within this range. So once we see a high volume breakout with a pretty decent positive candle above this range, and if the entire metal sector continues to, rally, then we could see some decent momentum on the upside. All right. So this was my view regarding Nifty and Bank Nifty futures for next couple of days. I'll share into more depth in my weekly sectoral analysis, which will be coming on Saturday. All right. So trade well and trade wisely. Thank you.